we're on a beach. Yes folks, we've come along to a beach, we're on our holidays, and this glorious spread of sand here on the estuary is somewhere that we know has driftwood. Now you may think, Phil, driftwood doesn't sound very interesting. Well, we don't know what else is here, but I've got a large bag today because I do want driftwood in order to work in the shed and do some craft, and I know Caroline is interested in driftwood too. Now, it may be that I'll be taking big bits and Caroline will be taking little bits. I don't know.
If you were carrying, I'm taking very big bits.
There we are. You've heard it here, folks. I am the one carrying the big bits today. But we don't know what we'll find until we look. But we do know there's timber because I'm stood in a pile of timber.
Now look at that. Lots of little bits. Lots of fairly freshly down, I'd say. Some of it's still got its bark on. Ooh, that one's been in the water a while, look at that.
Yeah, but that's too big even by standards of my big.
If I put my foot on it, you can see it is rather large.
That's too big for your studio or my shed, dear.
Yep, but we're going to look for other piles like this that have got more interesting bits, and I think we'll have more luck when we get nearer the shore rather than out here in the dunes, because these dunes are quite a way away from the sea at the moment, or the estuary, so they're not getting the best of the washed wood. Right, let's get down to the beach. This is the sort of pile of wood I'm looking for because they're not too big and they're interesting. We got a bit of bamboo there, which I'll keep. There are lots of bits of bamboo about this size, very strange. And I want that little bit of plank. I'm looking for some nice bits of plank. And you've got this, I think Phil would like that. Oh, that would actually, it's Piglet. Oh, look, it does look like Piglet, but to me anyway. You could also make that into a door hanger, couldn't you, to hang your coat on. Well, I'll take that. And anything else in here I fancy? No, I think that'll do me for now. You got any wood, Phil?
I got a pile building up just by the side of it, yeah.
Oh, that's where you've been. Oh, look, it's a Christmas tree shape. Very festive.
I'm getting there. Now, due to the fact it's December, and can I say, what a mild, calm December day it is too. Not that we've had a lot of those, but today is lovely. And we're talking Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm. I can see something sticking out from behind your coat.
Look what I got.
Oh, look at that. It's a singed Christmas tree.
I think that's going to make a brilliant Christmas tree.
Very nice.
Look at that.
Talk about found object art.
Indeed. I think that is the finished job.
Very nice. Is this a marble? It isn't. I've already checked it. It's like a little fruit off a tree. Oh, what a shame. I thought it was a brightly coloured marble. Ooh. A nice bit of plank, I'll have that. Aha! I get that. There you go, that's a nice one. What's this? Oh, it's like a little creature and he's holding his hand up to his head. Perhaps he's got a headache. He's going, oh, my head hurts. I've got toothache. Or is it a dragon? Let's turn it this way. I wonder what that could be. Shall I take that? What do you think? Do you think that's interesting enough to take and give it to Plinth and Teapot Man to do something with? Ah, plinth and teapot man.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of that? I think it looks like a little creature's got a toothache. You go, ow, ow, ow. What do you think? Do you think that's worthy of a plinth?
It's certainly intriguing and interesting.
Yep.
It's something.
Yep.
It's a funny little character with a long nose.
Oh, yes. Well, we'll see what you can do with that, if you can come up with anything.
I'd certainly try, but see what else I found. Always on the lookout for a dragon's head.
Oh, yes, look.
You know.
Very convincing. I think that may be a real fossilised dragon's head, actually.
Bit small, I'm thinking.
Oh, well, it could have been a baby dragon.
But you know, if it was mounted on something at the right angle, I think we could create that dragon look. See the look of the dragon there with his wing folded?
Interesting. Ooh, leave it to you, Plinth and Teapot Man.
Oh, maybe I've just found a dragon.
Could be. There are the dunes. We've come down this far, and there's a jellyfish. I'm not going to touch him. He could still be alive, even if he's dead. His stingers are still very much active, so we'll stay away from him. I don't think I can see any more. I think he may be a lone jellyfish.
One of them purse things over there, isn't it?
Oh, let's have a look. Where to?
Is that what it says for you?
Yep.
Okay.
There's nothing in it, is there?
No.
Let's have a look. See if we can see the hole. There we are. They ate their way out. I don't think you can see the light through them. No, always very interesting. Look how wonky that horizon is. Straighten you up. There. What have you found?
No, we've got a problem. It's good to come when the tide is out.
Yes.
Except you've got no water to clean anything. But this caught my eye because it's a stone.
Oh.
You see the colours in it?
That's pretty. It's like green and red and a grey line in it. It is quite a jumble of colours.
See the lines, the veins through and everything? It looks almost an ornament.
Oh, if you look at it that way, it's like a pair of eyes.
But I'm just thinking, because of the flat base on it, it would sit very well. And I think, yet again, another found piece of art.
Well done.
That's what I think. And look, I'll turn it round.
Oh, look at that, amazing.
Look at that. It looks good from both sides. Unlike most of us.
You can see the dunes, and then you can see there's like a layer of seaweed that we were just looking at. And now, I don't even know if I was pointing properly. Use your imagination, you have to when I point. And now we're on this big stretch along here, and it is more wood. And more wood than seaweed. So we're going to have a look along here and see if we can find anything. Oh, Phil's already found something. He does love his driftwood. What have you found?
Look at that.
Ooh, that's a gnarled old piece. And oh, look, there's the eye.
Yeah.
And there's the big nose.
I think that's got to go in the bag.
Yep. Oh, I can see something down there. That would be good, but I think Phil is going to complain it's too heavy. It's like the bottom of a tree. We let him off. We won't make him carry that. Shall we? No, I wouldn't. I'm not that cruel.
My bag's nearly full now.
I know, we got a long way to go. I said there weren't many jellyfish. There's one there. We've already just passed one, so there are, I think, quite a few along here. So I'll be careful where I tread. I wouldn't want to bring my dog down here and let him run wild, just in case. Oh no. What have you found this time?
Oh, another dragon. Look at his ear.
Oh yes, he's a very thin dragon, that one.
Indeed. They're definitely dragonish.
Straighten you up. There, very nice. Phil finding the perfect pieces for his models. I'm not finding what I want to find. I want to find planks. Little small, easy to sew planks for my project. There aren't many around. If you see any, let me know. Now this would make a beautiful rustic piece for the garden. Look at that. That's been in the water for many years. It's really well worn. And I'll show you for perspective. There's my foot on it. It's very long. It's about 6 foot tall and it's about 10 inches in diameter. And it's wet, so I wouldn't mind betting you can't even lift that up. Let's give it a try. Oh, look, I can't even wiggle it. Far too heavy. Ah well, oh, there's something down there that looks a little bit smaller and more reasonable. You can see there's another layer of wood now along the beach, and it's different again. Difficult to find a way to say this is this type of wood. Mainly smaller pieces, but with the odd big bit dotted around. Let's go have a look at this one. Looks like a yew log. You see all the other little bits. And there it is. Look at that, perfect size log. If we had a log fire, I'd take that home, put it on my log fire. I could stick some things on it and turn it into a Christmas yew log as a decoration, but it's just too heavy. You'd be amazed how heavy that is. So we leave it. What have you got this time, Mr. Johnson? Let's put my log down.
Oh no.
That was heavy.
I usually get mocked.
Yes.
When I think I've seen something, people laugh at me. But looking at that there, say what you see, folks. What do you think? See? Now,
let me turn it away from the light.
You gotta, don't go too close, because the whole form, the whole thing, from your fingers up, for me, that's a vulture on top of a tree.
I'm trying to show his face.
Vulture?
You can see his eye.
You can see his eye, you can see his beak, and there's his form, sat looking down, fancying something for his tea.
Ooh, right.
That's what I see. And now I know the comments are going to light up with people saying, Phil, what on earth are you talking about?
I can see it.
But it's not only beauty that's in the eye of the beholder. The odd vulture gets there too. Look what I got.
Whoa.
See, even on a beachcomb.
Oh, it's a sort of, I think it's off the end of a rope or something, but we'll call it a ball.
I'd say that's ball-like, isn't it?
Yes. So there we go. What is a beachcomb without finding a ball?
What's it made of?
Sponge? Foam?
Possibly float, for the purposes of floating. Pop it in the bag just in case I can find some use for that, because it's very seaside-ish, isn't it?
If you look over there, you can see all the holiday caravans. I'm not sure how well they'll come out. I'm pointing to the sky. Along there, across the water. And that's where people come in the UK. They are what we would call a static caravan, and people come for their holidays. And some of them are really posh inside. And then their view is out over the sea or the ocean.
As is the lovely houses up there.
Oh yes, that's a very nice place. Oh, let's see if I can point about there. I would say we can't afford a house up there.
Possibly not.
Very expensive.
And it's not the house.
It's the position.
The position.
Look
it's
at that.
view you're paying for.
If you get in your dinghy and start paddling away or rowing away, you'd end up in Ireland eventually. You may bump into Anglesey. I don't think you would you? I don't think we're high enough for Anglesey. No. No. Next stop, Ireland, or the island of Ireland.
Yeah.
And is there anything else? Funnily enough, we're at the seaside. Pirates are always at the seaside, always dropping things, clumsy things, these pirates, because they get drunk on they're drinking their rum, and then, ooh, what's that? Oh no, it's a leaf. I was just about to say we haven't found any gold doubloons yet, and I saw that and thought surely not. I was right, surely not. It's a leaf. What's Phil up to? Do you think he's found a pocket of exciting, interesting things? Coins, Roman artifacts, boat jumble? He's got something. Do you think it's a pebble? I'm going to go for pebble. Let's have a look, see if he's going to shock us and it's something else. What have you found?
It is not just a pebble.
Oh, right.
And it's not an M&S pebble.
What is it?
It's the pebble I showed you earlier, but I've now been down to the water.
Oh, that's completely changed it, isn't it?
And that is what it looks like now.
Very nice. Move it over from the side of your dark coat there.
There we go.
That's it, we can see it better then. Very nice.
If I put a bit of polish to that, I think that could come out beautiful.
It is lovely.
There you go.
You really should.
No.
You should. Oh, go on. You want? Oh, everybody should. What do you think, everyone? We're having a debate.
No. At the end of the day, every person has their limits.
Yes.
My bag is full, and even if it wasn't, this, I'm sorry dear, may work great in the garden, but it's going to have to stay on the beach.
You spoil sport.
That is just too big. So often when we visit places, particularly on the beach, the best of things are simply too big to take home. But the magic of YouTube means we can capture them, we can look at them, we can remember them, and we can share them with all of you. So that is why I've asked Caroline to film this, my favourite piece of driftwood today. Let's
have a look at this. Sorry about the aeroplane noise, everyone. Look at the texture. Isn't it gorgeous? And the way that has been in the water for quite a long time. This is the root end. Not many bits of root left. That would look fabulous in my garden, but yet again, Phil's refusing to take it home for me. I don't know, you just can't get the stuff. She's nice though.
I know I have a little bit of a reputation as the plinth man.
Yes.
And I've got to be honest, this is one cracking plinth.
I keep pacing backwards, hopefully without falling over anything. Whoops. Look at the size on that.
It's a plinth. Look, plinth 1, plinth 2, plinth 3.
Oh wow.
Plinth 4, plinths everywhere.
You could stand lots of things on that bit.
I could. On the other hand, I don't think the floor of my shed would take it.
No, I don't think so.
And it won't get in the car.
True.
But just to prove its worth, there we go. My Christmas tree on a plinth.
Look at that. What a very festive plinth.
I could even make it a very big plinth for my very small stone.
Oh yes, that's definitely too big a plinth for that very little stone.
Well, we've walked quite a way. To be honest, we've walked a lot further than I realised, because we're just picking up bits here and there and having a little look in the water and putting things in the bag. But then I realised we've not only walked a long way, but we've picked up quite a few things too, because this bag is getting heavy.
It is.
So we're going to make our way now, not just back down the beach, but then we're going to pop across the water. Now it's only a few 100 metres.
Oh, no problem at all.
Yes. Only thing is, this is an estuary, so we've got to go that way in a car looking for a bridge. But while we make that journey, come over to the shed now and have a look at a little bit of craft inspired by our visit to the beach today. I hope you're enjoying this trip that we've taken along the Poppit Sands and the estuary, and I hope you're going to enjoy all the things that we have to share with you down in that beautiful part of Wales, there on the Cardigan coast. But here we are in the shed, and as I said, I want to do something here now, create something inspired by the bits and pieces that we're finding along that beach. Primarily, it's driftwood today. Caroline wants driftwood for her craft so that she can use it over on her channel, and I love picking up driftwood because a bit like the melted bottles, I suppose, and the creations there, it's looking for what's within the piece. It's bringing pieces together that perhaps on their own are just weird shapes, but then assembling them so that to my eye they make something. Now, I have to give the disclaimer as always, to my eye. That doesn't mean necessarily that Caroline's going to understand what on earth it is I've made, and there's no guarantee that you will. But I know you love to be down here in the shed with me, and I know you enjoy this little bit of the videos, so let's get on and see what we can make. First thing I've got to do, it's got a huge bag here, huge heavy bag of driftwood, and I'm just going to sort out some bits and pieces and see what we can do with them. Okay, so I've chosen a few bits and pieces. I've gone for the more textured pieces. Pieces like this, that have got shape and texture to them, so that they lend themselves to the idea of something perhaps a little unusual or peculiar. There's my ready-made art. I could just stick that into a plinth, and I reckon that would stand up all on its own. But I want to do something a little bit more interesting than drill a hole in a plinth. So perhaps I'll keep that for another day. I've got some lovely pieces of bark. Now I hope to make use of those. And then these shapes, look at that. That's a piece of bark, but the twist and turn in that is fantastic. So I love that. And of course, I've also got my 2 dragon pieces, because there's what I believe looks very much like a dragon's head as it takes to flight, raising its head to fly. And here I got what I believe to be a dragon's head but perhaps more sedate, more settled. So lots of possibilities, lots of little shapes and sizes and different, well, proportions, but also different colours, and hopefully together they'll make something interesting. So having got two, what I think are potentially dragon heads, I'm going to have a go now at putting some of these pieces together and see if we can come up with something worth building. Let's get started. Right-ho then, let's have a look. As I say, this is a very interesting piece. I particularly like this, and I think it would probably go quite well with the flying dragon concept that I had, because here we have this what I see as a dragon's head with his ear coming back there and his forehead going down, and then we've got this long shaft which I imagined being enclosed somehow within a piece of timber like this and forming a body, giving it more structure to the body so that it can then serve as the armouring of the dragon as it flies. So that's the sort of imagery I had in mind. But then I started to look at that other dragon's head, this one. Now this I think will lend itself more to me being able to make something that poses well. So using that dragon's head, what I need to find really among these bits is a suitable body. And I did see a piece, here we go. I thought something like that. Now, if I just grab my brush, because these do come off the beach rather covered in sand and bits and pieces, and of course some of them have been burnt, so they've got bits of charcoal still on them. But give them a little wipe over, and it's surprising how it brings out all of the different texture. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely awesome? Now, what I'm thinking is that suggests to me the possibility of a dragon seated. Because if I place it down there, I don't know if you begin to get the idea of, here's the dragon's body here with its wing folded in, and then its leg folded under itself there. Now, to give it stability, I'd need to put something this side, and this piece here, although a different texture and colour, I still think that it may be just the right sort of shape to do the job of forming that hip and the other leg, because we bring that down on that side there, just like that. So now we've got it sat on two legs, and there's the hip on that side. If we join that there, so that would be positioned there to match this limb. So they would sit like this, and then can bring the head and place the head sort of at an angle like so, so that this eye socket is looking out towards us. Then I thought, to create more of the sense of the dragon, I could possibly create some wings. Now for that, I'm looking at the idea of using some of this bark, because I think the bark will give a good texture for the wings. And we've got two different types of bark here. I quite like this because it gives that folded effect, but I need two wings and I've only got one piece of this. On the other hand, that's too big, so maybe let's have a go. If I can just get it to go along there. Oh, I think I need to get my brush out again. Gosh, that really does need some brushing, doesn't it? There we go. And that can be the wing for at least the one side there. I think that's going to be a better size for a wing. And then I can use this as the wing on the other side. but folded in so that the dimensions match. Let's see how that goes. Possibly use a little bit of this as well, just to bring it over, so that we can do that sort of effect. And just strip that down there. Okay, so the basic form has come together. We've got the wings on, we've got the hind legs, it's crouching, the head is turned. Just want to add some details now to try and just bring this mythical creature into a sense of life, reality, recognition. Let's see what we can do. And the first thing I'm going to do is just use a little bit of wax out of this candle to give some red eyes to my dragon. Just pressing the wax in and just holding it in place for a moment. Just the warmth of my fingers, just to soften it a little, and then just rub it in and bring the black down over a little from the charcoal effect, and there we have just that effect of just the eye there. And now I just want to add some features to the spine and to the head, just to give it that spiked effect. And for that I'm thinking to use a sharp knife and some of this bark, just to create some of the pieces to go on the top there. So let's get on with that and see how it looks. Okay, so it's starting to take shape now with these just slivers of bark that I've cut at an angle down the back end. Just want to form a bit now for the tail end and something for the top, and we should be away. So I'm taking this piece of bark now, which has got a beautiful texture to it. I'm just going to create a piece just to come off the back end there. And I think if I take this sliver out of here, that could give us just the kind of piece I'm looking for. There we go. That's gone a bit thin there. So, as always, gotta just try again. I'm going to try taking it out to the center and see if I do better. So I'm going to come back up this way with the knife. And just try snapping that along the line. There we go. I go along here and then turn out there, because I've noticed that there's like a diamond shape forming here. If I can capture that on the other side, then although it wasn't planned, it's one of those happy accidents that becomes part of the image. Let's see what we can do here. That shape I think is going to work well, but it wasn't what I had in mind, because it was only as this broke on this side that I thought if I could mirror it on the other side, it would create just the piece that might do the job. So let's see how that fits on you. Just used that little V-notch to come right up underneath there, just angled the tail, and I decided to use the bark at the top here so that it would blend in with the patterning on here. So just a little bit on the head now, and I think we're going to be pretty much there. And also, of course, just need to give him his little front legs. And for that, I've just got two little tiny bits of driftwood that I snapped off, and I'm going to attach those. Now then, just to give this guy a little bit more stability and a little bit more of an appearance of a finished piece, I'm just going to take this piece of driftwood. Caroline was searching for planks, but I'm going to borrow this bit of plank and just try positioning this character on you. I'm thinking just like that, and then I'm having a look around the table here, and I happen to have this piece of, I assume it's flint. I believe we picked this up on possibly Lyme Regis, or it may have been another beach when we were traveling around, but this year gives the effect of like bone, a skeleton. So this could be the remains from a lunch that was shared by the dragons or something. So I thought if we were to bring that in and just position it on the edge there somewhere, then maybe that would just give that extra detail and depth for the piece. Just bring it in on the edge, somewhere around there. Pop a bit of glue on those, and then we'll have the finished product. And here it is, folks. My very first attempt at using driftwood to make a piece of art. Never tried it before. You've joined me on the very first attempt. Didn't know what was going to happen. Some difficulties, some happy accidents like the tail, which I love. I'm pleased overall with the effect, and I hope to improve with time, because I'm definitely going to continue driftwood sculpturing. I just love the fact that you can bring these things together. Molten glass, charred wood, whatever it is, you could take something that's really past its best and make it into something else. So, hope you like it. But for now, we'd better get out of the shed, get back over to Poppit Sands, take that journey around, and I got a funny feeling we may be sharing some gorgeous history with you en route. Let's get back. Well, we're on our way to the other side of the estuary, and although we have to be quick because the light is going to fade fast, we couldn't resist stopping off here at St Dogmeal's Abbey. We're alongside a church on this side, which is a few 100-year-old. We've got Abbey ruins on this side, which are 1,000 years old. We've got a tree behind us, which is 500 years plus old. That means that tree was planted before the dissolution of the Abbey, before Henry VIII shut it down. So we're really talking historical. But it goes back even further than that, because the Abbey was built in the 12th century, but there was a monastery recorded here in the 10th century, and it is believed that there was activity, Christian activity in this area going back way before that. And there are carved stones housed in the church here, and I believe over in the museum, which date back to 400 and 500 years AD, with carvings related to the Christianity of the time in Latin and in the ancient script. In fact, it's these stones that enabled the archaeologists to begin to unravel the ancient script as they had them in both languages. So history everywhere. The actual place is named after a saint who was around in about 600 AD. So that's a fair time ago as well. But when they built this place, it wasn't an abbey. Initially, it was a priory. That was around about 11, 13, 15. But within a few years, around about 11, 20, it was upgraded by the sons of Griffith ap Cynan. He was the king of Gwynedd, and he reigned for a long time. He lived into his 80s, but he died, and a year later his boys went on the rampage around here, causing all sorts of havoc. But just 50 years later, a little bit of notoriety, as Gerald of Wales and the Archbishop of Canterbury visited and stayed here, and did make comment that their accommodation was comfortable. So there we go. That's something for TripAdvisor back in the 12th century. Of course, over the years, lots of things happened in these parts, and there were many changes. The complex here grew and grew until eventually, of course, Henry VIII decided things were going to change. Along with so many other similar properties, they were seized and the dissolution of the monasteries went ahead. The gentleman who actually leased this land from the king built himself a mansion here. But it just goes to show that they built abbeys better than they built mansions, because there's no trace of the mansion and they're not actually certain where it was. But we can still see the mark left by those who lived here at the abbey. Yes, because while this place is named after a saint who was reputed to be a cousin of St David, who was the patron saint of Wales, in 1402 the then Bishop of St David's, just down the road on the coast, was so concerned about the lifestyle and behaviour of the monks here that he actually sent orders that they were to remain within the confines of the abbey grounds. So there we go. Lots of history, plenty of stories to tell. If only these walls could talk.
Let's have a little look in here now. There are the steps that we came up. And there's this little section here with, what do you think that was? Drainage or a fireplace? Is there anything round there? Nope. Just a square. Look in there. That, it looks like a fireplace, but it can't be. I wonder if we can get in that bit. Let's go have a look. Let's explore. So we go back down this way. Lead the way, Phil. Right.
I don't think these steps are original.
No?
No.
Oh, they might have been. They may be very well preserved.
They're not well preserved, they're rather rotten.
Look at the state of that. I think we'd be very careful going up here.
The edge. Come right tight there, I would.
There we go, we're up and we're in another room. Ooh, this is nice. Lots of interesting bits of wall. Lots of missing bits of wall. What have we got here? The columns around the windows, probably, something like that. They look like little windows. And oh, we got more steps here. Let's go up these. Come on then, let's go up the steps. 1, 2, 3. And we don't seem to be anywhere.
My steps are better than your steps.
Oh, right, we've got to go up those steps now. Oh, right, we've got to go up those steps now. Right, here we go. If they're good enough for Phil, they're good enough for us. Oh, they're very precarious. Be careful. If anybody's wearing stiletto heels, you probably best wait at the bottom. Where's Phil going? I think he's getting to that little room we wanted to get to. Yep, yeah. Let's follow. Right, in this door. Oh, we better knock. Oh, ding dong. Can we come in? Thank you. Don't want to be impolite. I don't think there are many step areas, so we just walk down this bit. And we walk down this bit. And then we walk down these steps and we're in that little area that we looked at from over there. We'll look in here. Nothing identifiable left in there.
Of course, we all know stones don't talk. But as well as the stones that are all around us here, as the ruins just rise up out of this green grass, the stones from this abbey go on. They do have a new life and a new story. Because as I always tell you folks, recycling and reusing is not a modern idea. And many of the buildings around here, from the church to the vicarage to the stables, were built with stone that was taken from this abbey. So the story goes on. And as I said at the beginning, one of the things that strikes me is the link between the village and this community of monks. And in a very real way, that still goes on because people around here are using and living in properties that wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the stones of the abbey. Anyway, enough history. We've stayed long enough. The light is fading and we want to get over and check out the other side of that estuary and see if we can find some planks for Caroline. So let's go. Well, we've got to the other side, folks. We had to drive up, across and down. We went from Cardigan. We've seen some sights. Hope you enjoyed the visit to the abbey. A little bit of history there. But now, here we are, across the estuary. And if you can hear lots of traffic, it's because there's a road behind us. And if you can use lots of water, it's because there's a stream running just to our right. But let's get searching and see what we can find.
Right, so there is the running water that you can hear. Very noisy. But looking down, I've seen, look at that. Quickly as that, I found a piece of, I suppose it would be river glass. It's been recently smashed on that end, but it has still been worn. There's no sharp edges. So let's see if we can see anything else. I thought that was a pipe, but I think it's probably bird poop. Some of that can be very bright white.
Look at somebody's mug, I'd say.
Yep, that looks like a 1960s coffee mug. Right, that water is calling us, so come on, pop your wellies on, we're going in. Oh, it's cold. Oh, what's that blue there? No, I think it's some paint off the bottom of a boat. Oh, I don't want to spend too long in this water. I'm freezing. Oh, what have you found? Anything?
Quite a rim.
Oh, that's nice. It's one of those proving bowls with the yellow glaze inside. We find so many of those all over the place.
Yep. It's a rim.
Let's have a look over this side. Anything in there? Any gold doubloons? Lots of bits of broken slate. Look at this section here, bits of broken red brick. I don't think there's anything of note here, so I think we'll go wandering on. There are lots of places to look. If I hold the camera up, there are the caravans we could see from the other side of the water. And looking round, look at the size on this beach. It's huge. Oh, hello, Mr. Johnson. Is that another piece?
Yep, and look.
Oh, wow. Oh, do they fit?
Yep.
Look at that. Whoa, that's pretty impressive. Any more?
They were about 30 feet apart.
Right, well, let's see if we can find some more.
Oh, here we go. Let's build a bowl.
Now, that's a bit of a neck of a bottle, and that's quite old. There's a bit of glass there, but I don't think that is. Yep. No, I think that's quite modern, but that's definitely not. No, I think that's probably about it in this area. We're going to move on and see what we can see down where Phil's gone. He's very keen. Let's go and see what he found. Oh, there's a piece of glass there. It's an unusual shape, isn't it? I think it was an oval and it's got an eye on it. An eye as in a eye or a number one rather than an eyeball. Oh, I wonder what that was off. Have you seen anything complete like that you could tell us what that was off? I'd love to know. I've got a bit of plastic in my hand I found further up the beach, but this is interesting. And you may say, why on earth is that interesting? Because this is exactly the same design pattern as we found last time we were here about a year ago. Lots more pieces then, but obviously this bit we didn't pick up and now we found it. You never know what you're going to come across. Let's have a little look, see if there's any more of it. I can't see anything that looks like a white tile from any distance. Ooh, it's very slippery. Can you see the algae? Ooh, not nice. Ah, there's something white and ceramic. Do you think that's more of those tiles? I think it's a bit too rounded. Yep, that's the bottom of a saucer. Now this is a bit of rope. I like to pick up nylon rope from the beach anyway, but that's such a pretty colour. I think I'm going to be able to use that in my crafts. Oh, very nice. Oh, I'm pleased with that bit. I wonder if there's any more. Aha. Here's a piece of rope. There. It's quite a long piece. Whoa, look. Ah. It's got a boat on the end of it. I don't think we'll be taking that. Now there's an interesting rock. It says 1898 on it. It was carved in, or is it concrete? Looking at that there, it looks like some sort of composite, like concrete or something like that. If so, why 1898? Did they have concrete in 1898? You know, I actually don't know. What an interesting question. And on the floor here, we've got, not from 1898, a screwdriver. A bit rusty. Put that there. Ah. There's not much left of that, is there? Put it in our pile, and there's a lot of plastic on that, so we'll get rid of that into the bin.
You wanted planks?
I think that plank's a little bit on the large side.
What about that one?
That's okay, it's a bit more reasonable, isn't it? Perhaps we'll have that one. Oh, look what I found.
Oh, no, that's a genuine bona fide
Ball.
Oh.
Yes, last one was a bit of a float, but we cheated and so imagined it could be a ball, but that is definitely a ball. So what is a beachcomb without a ball? Look at this for an old rusty carabiner. Oh, it still moves just about. That's got a nice look about it with all that rust, but it's been in the sea and it does just about still move. Oh, I think we'll take that. Look at these boats. This one is called Shoal Water. This looks like the side of a car with two wheels on. I don't think it is. I think it's off the side of a boat. But doesn't it look like some sort of vintage sports car? Toy one, obviously. Not many with that size that were real. Well, I think I might take that just because I like the look on it. It's really interesting. Oh, there's some metal over here. Always interesting to pick up bits of metal. What on earth is that? Oh, it's off the top of a paintbrush. So not very old, but interesting until we found out what it was. What have you found?
Somebody dropped their toolkit.
You think so?
Or they dropped a box of stuff, because as I was walking along I suddenly saw different shapes, and look.
Oh, I'm going to get muddy now. I haven't got my gloves with me. There's a little piece of a copper fitting. And, oh.
That's our first socket.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's an extension bar. There may be a socket actually to your right, just by the side of the stone.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm really gooey now.
Socket and an extension, look at that. Nut and bolt.
Oh, yes. A muddy nut and bolt.
Yeah.
And there's another nut there.
There's plenty of nuts
with a bolt
around here.
welded to it. We got one of those. I think it's a Jubilee clip or two joined together.
It's a bit of a handle, is it?
Like is it a cleat they call it? You wind the string around something.
Yeah, but there's only one end to it. It's a bit weird.
Let's look what else. Lots of little bits, lots of nuts and bolts and things. Mainly welded together. Very muddy and sticky. Let's have a look down this way.
Jubilee clips.
Yes. Oh, a bit of a mug. That's pretty. And let's have a look what else we got. There's something metal and round. There's a hub of a car, possibly. More round metally bits. More Jubilee clips. And more Jubilee clips. Oh, there's some more tools here. What's this? That's really heavy. Not sure what it is. There. And there's this. Whatever one of those is.
Yeah.
Looks a bit like an anchor. I don't think it is. Unless it is. Is it a foldable anchor? And the top bits would fold up and down and the same with the bottom? I don't think so. But it could be. What do you think?
It's an interesting shape by you.
Keep an eye on it. I've seen something that could be a pipe stem and I don't want to move.
Aha.
Do you think that there is a pipe stem? Oh, if it is, there's a fit. It's very bent. It's very bendy. Oh, look at that. There's a piece of wire.
Oh, I thought it was seaweed. Seaweed stuck to it, is it?
Yes. How disappointing. Really thought we found a huge bit of pipe stem. Right, Mr. Johnson.
I think I found a spanner.
A spanner.
You know?
Let's have a look. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is. It's not very well. The one end's okay, the other end is snapped. And it's really gooey.
See if I can clean it off a bit.
I'm really gooey now as well. Alright, I can see something down there that's of interest to me, but probably not to you. It's a little puddle of water, and I really need to wash this mud off my hands. So, let's give them a quick swill. Not that this water looks much cleaner. But I feel a bit cleaner. Oh, and a bit colder. Octavia. Look at the little portholes, aren't they lovely? There's a big wooden thing stuck in there. I'm sure there's a very technical name for a big wooden thing stuck in there. This one's in pretty poor condition again, look at that. Poor thing was probably glorious in its heyday. Not so much so now. In the distance there you have one very happy dog, because the lady had forgotten to bring the poor dog's ball down the beach and he was very unimpressed with the frisbee, but then we gave them the ball we found and he's a very happy dog. chasing it. Look at that.
One doggy in his element.
Mudlarkers to the rescue.
Indeed.
This is some reinforcement they put underneath the road to stop the sea eroding. And look what I found in there. This looks like a little piece of jelly mould. I don't know if I can get it out. Oh, there we go. Oh no, I think it is a little bowl, little mixing bowl. It could be a jelly mould. I think more likely to be a bit of mixing bowl because it's smooth on the inside. And that's where the jelly mould would actually make the pattern on the jelly. Isn't that cute? Fancy finding that in there. It must have washed in with the sea and then got jammed. I bet we can't find the rest of that. Big metal wheel thingies. Two of. And then this little area here which we can have a quick scour of to see if there's anything else interesting before we go back to the car and warm up. Now look at this. I thought it was just a piece of paper and then I thought, no, that's a bit stiff, it's metal. It says Black & Decker on there. Can't see what else it says. So it's obviously some sort of tool that perhaps has been dropped off the side of a ship or left there and they forgot to take it with them. And then it got battered and rusty and there's not a lot left. It was wandering along somewhere like this. I think it may have been a bit further on last year when I found an old library book that somebody had been reading and he got thrown away into the sea or accidentally dropped and it was very wet. So I took it home, I dried it off and I turned it into an altered book because it wasn't very readable or very nice. So let's have a little look at that book I made.
Well, we were concerned for the tide, but obviously the light is going to beat us before the tide today because it is starting to get a little bit dimmer now than it was when we started and the clouds are building over, so we're not getting that bit of sunlight through. So I think our adventure here is probably drawing to a close, but we've done well. Over the other side I got so much driftwood my arm was killing me by the time I got back to the car, and Caroline wanted her planks. And
look at those
look
planks.
at that.
Wow, what a plank.
She's got her planks. And even a nice bit of dowel as well.
Look at that.
So there we go. Caroline's done well. I've done well. We're happy. Hope you're happy. Hope you've enjoyed being with us on this wander along the estuary. If you have, give us a thumbs up.
Doing, doing, doing.
Don't forget, share it with all your friends. The more the merrier. But most important, this time, like every time, till the next time, have fun. Bye.
Bye.